This episode of the Halloween podcast is brought to you by Acorns, the app that invests your change automatically. If you're like me, you have zero inside of your savings for future you. What Acorns does is rounds up all of your debit card purchases and invests that change for you automatically. I got started months ago and my account is slowly growing for future me. I didn't even notice it coming out of my bank account. It's that subtle. Support the Halloween podcast by signing up using our link. You get a $5 sign-on bonus, and so do we. Just go to thehalloweenpodcast.com/acorns, click on the banner, and get signed up. That's thehalloweenpodcast.com/acorns. Now let's get the show started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Halloween podcast. I am your host, Lyle Perez. This is the first episode of our 31 show countdown to Halloween. If you're not on our Facebook page, you really should be, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that I'm going to post there throughout the entire month. A lot of visuals, images, that sort of thing to kind of coincide with what I'm talking about here on the show. So if you're not on our Facebook page, you really need to be. Just go to facebook.com/the Halloween podcast, give it a like, and just stay up to date with what's going on, because trust me, there's going to be a ton of stuff that's going to be posted there throughout the month. And if you're going to listen to the podcast, you want to get a good visual, you're going to want to check that out. I posted a couple of months ago and I mentioned it on the show that this year, I was going to try a theme with the countdown, and I'll tell you right now, this is probably going to be the last time I'm going to do a theme for the Halloween podcast, because it has been a struggle to do 31 shows, trying to keep everything with a theme. It was tough. So the theme for this year, I started calling it's a 90s Halloween countdown. This year, every show on the countdown will be 90s themed. So you're going to get a lot of good 90s nostalgic stuff. I tried really hard to make sure that everything is going to hit home. It's going to hit you right in the nostalgic gut. But it ended up being mostly Halloween movies, Halloween sitcom episodes that I remembered from the 90s. So I tried to make this good, but when I actually got to it, there wasn't much 90s Halloween stuff I could have done. Definitely not enough to fit 31 shows. But I did get some good stuff, and this episode is going to be a good one. So on the first episode of this 90s Halloween countdown, we are going to cover something that is near and dear to my heart. I've been doing the Halloween podcast for a long time now, and the episode I get asked about a lot and get praised on all the time is the Halloween episode I did for the McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Do you guys remember that one? I think it was, I don't know, it's been a while now. It's been easily 2 years now. It's the one that brings back so many nostalgic feelings for so many of the listeners. I couldn't tell you how many times I get an email from somebody saying, hey, your best episode was the McDonald's one. You really need to do more like that. And I'm like, perfect, because McDonald's is a very specific thing, so I can't duplicate that episode. But I'm going to try. McDonald's doesn't do anything to try to bring kids in anymore. It's kind of one of those things where McDonald's kind of just, I guess they got too much flack for going after kids in their marketing, but the Playlands, they're all gone. Their premium toys just aren't the same. they did away with the McDonaldland characters, all of the characters in general now, because I know Ronald is probably still floating around, but he's basically gone. Birdie's gone, Grimace, the Hamburglar, Mayor McCheese, they're all gone. Like, where do they go? They need to bring them back, but I don't think they will. I don't know. I guess that's why people relate to that episode, is because they love the nostalgic feeling of walking into the McDonald's as a kid, feasting on some fries, then going to play in the Playland area. And I talk about this on the McDonald's episode, but in the 1995 year, they released these Halloween cassette tapes. Now, I'm probably sure you're thinking, man, I'm tired of listening to about these dang tapes. But if you don't have them, like, you need to get them. You need to listen to them. Actually, you probably don't anymore, because we're going to review it right now. But it's just one of those things where, like, if you want Halloween nostalgic stuff from your childhood, if you grew up in the 90s, if you spent a lot of time at McDonald's, this tape, or the 4 tapes, are like the best thing you can get for Halloween content. There was a total of 4 of these cassettes, and on this episode, I'm going to play one of them, and we'll listen to it together. It's going to be fun. There's going to be we'll get filled with nostalgic stuff, you and me, because I haven't listened to these in years. I've listened to it here and there, sort of, but the last time I actually remember listening to it for reals was, I couldn't even tell you, really. It had to have been like when Callie was very young. I don't want to ruin this for later, because later on, like when I do a lot of these shows, a lot of them are scripted, so I kind of sit down and write out the schedule for the show, write out the scripts. Like, I'm going to say this is the topic for this show. So while I'm working, like, Callan will come into the studio and he'll mess around with a lot of my stuff. Kalexi will come and she'll start messing around with my toys, and then she'll take off. Callie comes down and she sits behind me and she just like stares, and I just tell her to leave because she's creeping me out. So, but I'm saying all of this stuff because later on in another episode, you'll hear about a story with Callan that happened while I was writing the script. But he's become very fascinated with cassette tapes, and I showed him one of these earlier, and I heard him from the other room, and he was laughing hysterically at like some of the dumb jokes with like Grimace and Ronald. So he was enjoying these things, and I'm enjoying it too. I mean, I love it. Okay, so you'll hear about that more later in another episode. I'm not sure exactly when that one will come about, but something to look forward to. So before we get into these tapes, I kind of want to give you some information on the production about these things, sort of. I follow this page on Facebook called Filming in McDonaldland. I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you're not following this page, you really need to if you love the McDonald's nostalgic stuff. And if the McDonald's Halloween episode was my best episode, as a lot of people say, like, you should really follow that page, because it's a good page. It's run by a guy named Rich Shieldman. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right. Who he was the art director for many years during the McDonaldland days. So this guy posts stuff all the time, like behind the scenes images, and he'll say like, you know, the production about this, and he'll give you stories about the production. He should start his own podcast and just get on the mic and just go for it. But I've tried to get him to come on the Halloween podcast to talk about these cassettes. Sadly, he's declined. I mean, I'm not going to make anyone come onto the show. If they say no, then that's fine. But I did get him to tell me a little bit more about these Halloween cassette tapes. So here it is, straight from him. My writer, Barbara Fallon, our music composer, Gary Fry, and I, the art director, is talking about himself, came up with the longer versions of the CDs and tapes. First, they were briefly put in retail stores through Rhino Records, which, okay, now it's back to me. Rhino Records is the one who did the Halloween cassette tapes. You can see them in the back. They also do a lot of, they did a lot of the Halloween spooky sounds that I have. I haven't done any of theirs yet, but I have a ton of them now. So those are going to be, I think they might be in the countdown because some of them are 90s, but they're the ones who do it. They do a lot of this type of stuff. So back to Mr. Shieldman. McDonald's and their Happy Meal promotion agency, Simon Marketing, came up with the ideas for the toys and also the tapes. So Simon Marketing is the ones behind these wonderful tapes. So they were taken from the tapes and the CDs. McDonald's had a CD for Ronald McDonald. I'm pretty sure it was Ronald Makes It Magic. That was the name of the actual CD. I have it somewhere. I bought it off of Amazon many years ago. I didn't even know that they existed. I also bought a collection of like a lot of vintage tapes, and there was a Ronald McDonald one in there that wasn't one of these Halloween cassette tapes. Let me see if I can get it really fast. Okay, yeah, I got it right here. It's called That's My Ronald. This one was from 97. And yeah, it was just another cassette tape. It has songs on there. That's My Ronald is the main song. The Treasure Map song. Save the Aliens. So there's songs on here. They're catchy tunes. And these Halloween cassette tapes also have music in them. They have the stuff taken from the actual main Ronald Makes It Magic CD. All right, so back to Mr. Shieldman. They were in charge of getting their designs and toys made from their suppliers. The toys always came first. Well, it's pretty cool to know that the toys were actually made first before anything else. Even with the tie-in partners like Disney and others. And then the lead agency, Leo Burnett, which I know Leo Burnett because I did the Amazing Advertising podcast for a while, and they were an ad agency that did a lot of the advertising characters. I'm pretty sure they're the ones that were behind Little Caesar from Pizza Pizza, if memory serves me correctly. But back to Mr. Shieldman. So where I worked as an art director was always responsible for creating the TV commercials based on the toys. So he was the one that was in charge of those commercials that you see that I've played them numerous times on the show. I'm pretty sure I played them during that Halloween McDonald's episode. So you can see them there. You can find them on YouTube. I'll probably post some here or there on the Facebook page. All right, so several writers and art direction teams responsible for creating the TV commercials based on the toys. Getting messed up. Several writers and art director teams switched off on those assignments, sometimes competing with each other, as in the case of this Halloween promotion. We were given guidelines and toys to create those commercials. Everything was all planned out months ahead of time, so these things were all recorded, not during Halloween, which, I mean, is kind of a given because they were given out during Halloween. But in regards to the Ronald commercials, it was always the responsibility of the writer and the art director to come up with the TV storyboards and produce the ideas with the help of the directors, editors, music composers, voice actors, post-production, and all of the aspects of making a mini movie. So he's going into depth as to the commercials themselves, not necessarily the tapes, but fun stuff to know. In this case, my writer and I were the creative team. They were competing against two other teams, with the winning team being Halloween Ronald story ideas. In the commercial, they dressed up the McDonald Land TV characters in costumes that looked like the toys. So the toys came first, and then they did the commercials later. So they reproduced, they made the costumes to fit the humans. And then they named it, What Am I Going to Be for Halloween? That was the name of the promotion. They wrote the song for the commercial at the same time, and they were creating the actual Ronald Makes It Magic CD. The toy display, folks picked up our title and used it for the displays. I actually have a display for this. What am I going to be for Halloween promotion? I have the actual display that they used for the Happy Meal toys. One of my pride and joys out of the collection. It's very fragile. I try to keep it away from everything, but my kids have gotten to it, and numerous times I've seen them like taking the toys off of it, and there's like elastic string on it. They've pulled it. they've done a number to that thing, but it's okay. So they were all very involved, complicated. They were all complicated with a lot of layers and yada yada. So he went on to a lot of different other stuff. So with that, let's get into this tape. I have it right here. It is brand new, still sealed. So the one I'm going to share, I'm pretty sure everybody I said it. This was my favorite one out of the 4. This isn't the first one. This is actually number 2 of the Halloween cassette tapes. This one's called Travel Tunes, and it's pink. And this is the one I remember the most from my childhood. This is the one that my cousins let me borrow. My cousins had the tape. I did not have the tape. This is one of those things where I knew about it. I wanted my mom to take me to McDonald's to get it, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've said this numerous times. For whatever reason, we were always poor. Both my parents worked. They worked full time, and we were always poor. I don't work full time. I'm self-employed, and we're not really poor. So I don't know. I can still go to McDonald's and take all 3 of my kids so they can get something to eat when my parents couldn't do it for me and my brothers. I don't know. Okay, so enough of that. Let me get into this tape because it is brand new. It is sealed. I need to get my knife so I can cut through this plastic. Hopefully this cassette is rewound, because then I'm going to have to sit here for a minute or so while this thing gets rewound. And hey, it actually is. Okay, so the name of this one is called Travel Tunes. It is number 2. I've already said that. The back just basically tells you side A is Magic Funmobile. Song is by Gary Fry, who we know from earlier. And Putt Putt Chugga Chug Clunk Clunk Squeak is on side B. That's the name of the song. Robin Frederick is the one who did that one. And all of the songs from the full-length album, Ronald McDonald Presents Travel Tunes and Play Pack. Available on cassette from Kids Rhino. Look for this album in stores wherever music is sold. Okay, that kind of brought something back to my memory, if you want to say. So, Ronald McDonald Presents Travel Tunes. They say it's a full-length album, and they say it numerous times throughout the tape. We'll hear it. But I don't remember that one ever being produced. I can look it up really fast, but I honestly don't think that one was ever done. I guess I could ask Rich if this one was ever done, but I don't think I've ever seen this one. I've seen Ronald Makes It Magic. That one is the one that I have. I know that one exists. But when I look it up on Amazon, it just takes me to this cassette. It doesn't take me to anything else like I can buy the full-length album. You know, I'm going to contact Mr. Rich Shieldman again and see what happened. Like, what happened to that CD? Because it says it on the packaging, like, hey, look for this full-length album coming soon. But yet it never came. So, I don't know. I'll ask him. I'm going to do 3 more of these because there's 4 tapes in total. So, probably in the next tape review for the McDonald's ones, we'll get to that. All right, so let me get my tape player. Turn off creepy music. All right, let's get this going. This is going to be fun. I'm excited for you guys. All right. I love how it's like a Halloween radio show. I've always wanted to do one of these, but I don't have the patience to sit there and try to write something like this out.
And a big Halloween hello to all you monsters and mummies. And
Hello to the daddies, too.
Ronald McDonald here at a very special Halloween broadcast from McDonald's Land's Magical Radio.
Oh my gosh.
Let's start today's show with a look in the magical radio mailbag.
The mailbag is really stuffed with Halloween.
Yeah, like I don't know where, like
This one's from Reginald Q.
when
who writes,
I was talking to him, I really wanted him to tell me more about these kids that were on there.
Try blow drying it and then use just a touch of scare spray.
Here's a
Bunch
letter
of
from
dad jokes.
Griselda Ghost.
Let's see. Griselda says, "Dear Ronald, my ghoul friends and I
Never
never
miss
miss
your
your show." Well, thanks, Griselda, for letting
Yes.
me know my show's
Listen
a
to
hit
these so
from
many
ghost
times.
to ghost.
Here's another letter, Ronald.
This one's from C. Slug, who writes,
It just goes to
"Dear
show you
Ronald,
how
what kind
many
of
times
witch
I listen
lives
to
at the
these
beach?"
things.
Gee, you stumped me on that one. I don't know. Hello?
Hello, Ronald. You want to know what kind of witch lives at the beach? A sand witch.
That's a good one. Say, who is this?
Winnemucca witch here. I got a million of them. How about this one? Know what you get when you cross a broomstick with a motorcycle?
No. What do you get when you cross a broomstick with a motorcycle?
You get a broomstick.
I've heard that joke before. I think one of my
Ronald, you
cousins
should try
might have told
trying
me.
my broomstick sometime.
Like this was way
I'll stick
before
to riding
the
in my
cassette
magic
tapes.
funmobile.
But can you soar across the sky like I do with the wind blowing through your lovely green hair?
Well, not exactly. My hair's red. But the Magic Funmobile can fly. It's pretty special. Here,
We talk about
listen
the
to this
Magic
song from my
Funmobile.
Travel Tunes album, and you'll see.
See the Travel Tunes album. I don't think that ever.
Take a drive.
Let me do a little bit more
See what
research
I
while we're
can
listening
see.
to this.
Take the road to who knows where, just to find what it will be. It's a great day to hit the
Yeah,
road.
these are
and
such
my Magic
catchy
Funmobile
tunes.
is ready to roll. Take along a bunch of friends who can ride along with me. Travel pals to share the fun. Miles of smiles are guaranteed. We'll go riding in the Magic Funmobile. Magic Funmobile. Magic Funmobile. We'll go riding in the Magic Funmobile. It's a really happy feeling. Riding in the Magic Funmobile.
This is going to be great.
Everybody,
Man, they really went for it with these things.
for a magic day. Off we go to have some fun, singing all along the way.
We'll go.
Riding in the Magic
And if you're going to do advertising, you might as well do it right.
Funmobile. Magic Funmobile. We'll go riding in the
Yeah, I still can't find anything that has to do with Travel Tunes other than this cassette tape. Let me look up the name of the song, see if it comes up anywhere else.
The Funmobile will tell you how.
With the little old Ronald's magic, you see, I change into anything you want me to be.
Ronald, did the Funmobile just talk?
I'll be a car or a bus or a boat or a train.
Could you be a roller coaster or a jet airplane?
Sure, any kind of travel machine.
Bicycle built for 17?
Just give me a minute.
We'll go riding in the Magic Funmobile. Magic Funmobile. Magic Funmobile. We'll go riding in the Magic Funmobile.
I wonder what the Magic Funmobile looks like.
Happy feeling. Riding in the Magic
I kind of picture like
Funmobile.
a Volkswagen Bug.
Riding in the Magic Funmobile. Magic Funmobile. Magic Funmobile. We'll go riding in the Magic Funmobile. It's a really happy feeling. Riding in the Magic.
How about a blimp?
Floating in the Magic.
Sailboat?
Sailing in the Magic.
Helicopter?
Flying in the Magic. Whatever it is.
Okay, I think I found something. It says this was released in July 11th, 1995. It's called Ronald McDonald Travel Tunes and Play Pack. It says it's on Apple Music,
You want to ride in the Magic Funmobile or
on
your
Amazon
broomstick?
Music.
The Magic Funmobile. Hey, know anybody who wants to buy a used broomstick? Oh, dear.
I I know there's more Halloween fun in store for everyone. Just turn the tape over.
Turn the tape over. I used to make fun of the way he said that all the time when I was a kid. I just turned the tape over. And that's the indicator to turn it around. We got another side. Trust me, this next song is pretty fun. But man, I'm still trying to figure out this album business because something's there.
Halloween fun with Ronald McDonald and friends on
Physical Radio.
It says it has a couple of songs. It has Magic Fun Mobile and Putt Putt Chugga Chug.
I saw a ghost. It was running right through Amy's front yard.
Really? You did not. You're just kidding, right, Ronald?
No kidding. I saw a witch and an ugly old troll, too.
And guess where they were?
Where?
They were on Chloe's
On Lyle's front porch. I used to do that all the time.
Of course, they could just be friends in their Halloween costumes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, man.
Are you
I'm such a nerd. If you know these as much as I do, please let me know. I can't be the only one who can recite this whole thing by memory. I can't be the only one.
Car race.
That's not strange. It was if the car went all by itself and no one was driving.
It sounds like they record, like the kids recorded these things not in one group, but like one at a time.
Picture yourself at the McDonald's Fairgrounds.
In my head, I kind of imagine like this whole studio of Halloween decorations, and there's costumes. There's a bunch of kids there. Ronald's there, full on makeup, and he's doing magic and DJing. That's what I imagine, but I'm pretty sure in reality, it's just Ronald, no makeup on. What's his name? Jack Dupeck. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that's his name. He's just sitting there, no makeup on, no kids at all. He's just sitting there doing his thing, performing. And then the kids record their stuff later. Callie used to love this song.
Fido's leading the pack, and the beach ball keeps rolling on. A couple of eggs are scrambling for second place, and French Fry is trying to catch up.
There's Yo-Yo, only doing so-so, and it looks like London Bridge is falling behind. And there's that
I remember one time I showed Mandy these, and Mandy's older than me. She's about 6 years older, so she doesn't have these nostalgic things like I do from the 90s. And there's a certain part in this song that she started cracking up on, and it made my heart smile. I don't know if it already happened yet. I might have been talking over it, but if it happens right now, I'll let you know.
Around the final turn.
Oh, here it is.
Inside is coming to the inside, and outside is going to the outside. No, inside's out and outside's in. They're side by side. This race could be a tie. Or a shirt. Just listen to that crowd.
Hooray.
It's gonna be close. No, wait. Kettle's running out of steam, and Pinwheel's spinning out of control. Now the pedals to the metal.
Oh, I guess it already happened. There's at one point where he says, and so is hugging the rear, and he just started laughing.
Slow and steady will win the race. Just keep going at your very own pace.
Ronald, that wasn't scary.
I didn't say it was scary. I said it was strange.
Oh, that's scary.
That was scary. It's a good thing I can turn it off just by pushing this button. Well, right now I'm going to open up the phone lines and take requests for your favorite Halloween songs. Hello?
Hello, Ronald. This is Grizzly Ghost, and I'd like to
Grizzly
hear my
Ghost.
favorite song, A Haunting We Will Go.
Here it
Is that even a song? A Haunting We Will Go?
performed
No,
by me,
that's...
Ronald McDonald and the
Oh, what's that
Magical Radio
song?
Musical Orchestra.
Oh, man, I don't even know.
2.
If you know, let me know. What parody is this for?
On Halloween night, we're quite the sight. A haunting
Is it a
we will
marching we will go?
Everybody! A haunting we will go. A haunting we will go. On Halloween night, we're quite the sight. A haunting we will go. Well, as as the
Was it a
mummy
hunting
would say,
we will go?
that
I don't know.
wraps up this part of our broadcast. Have a happy Halloween, and be sure to tune in again for more fun on McDonald's Magical Radio.
So that is it. That is my favorite McDonald's cassette. That I don't know. I'm speechless, I guess is the word. Like, I don't know what it is about this thing, but it captures me. It did when I was a kid, and I mean, it doesn't do it now, of course, because I'm a 35-year-old man, but like, it just brings me back to that time when I was sitting at my old childhood house, and I was in front of the cassette player and hitting play, and then the second it was done, taking it out, flipping it around, putting it back in, hitting play, listening to it again, just over and over and over again. That it's a time capsule, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's good to revisit those things. Well, to me, it's good to revisit those things. I mean, some people don't like to relive the past, but if it's something that makes you happy, why not relive it? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It is the first episode of the Halloween Countdown. It's a 90s Halloween countdown, and it's been fun. I'm really happy I got to share this with you guys. I'm so excited to share the other 3 with you guys, and we will get to those in due time. But for now, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you're a fan of the show and want to support us, you can do it a couple of different ways. The easiest way is to just go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Halloween Podcast, and like it, share all of the episodes, because there's going to be 31. I'm really trying hard that this year is going to be the year that I actually go from 1 all the way to 31 on time, ready to roll. And going to the Facebook page and sharing all of these things with your friends, you sharing it on your timeline. You never know who on your friends list is going to love this Halloween podcast show. I love doing it for you guys, and it makes me happy that I've been getting so much positive feedback lately. In the past month or so, I've been getting a ton of emails from people saying that they enjoy the show. It makes their Halloween better. And it really reminds them of when Halloween was at its best when they were a kid, and that's what I'm trying to bring. So, if you like that I'm doing that for you, and you think one of your friends might like it, just go ahead and just share all of the episodes. Just go to the Facebook page. I post that there's a new episode all the time, so go on there, share it, and that's probably the best way you can help support the show. But you can also support the show by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Those really do help. They don't help much with like the podcast ranking, but they do help by telling other podcast listeners that this is a show that they need to check out. And like I said, if I see a podcast with a 1-star with a bunch of 1-star reviews, I'll say it's probably not a good show. But if I see one that has a ton of 5-star reviews, I'll be like, okay, that's probably a good one to check out. So plus, if you leave us a 5-star review, I will send you The Halloween Podcast sticker. You can support the show also by going to our Patreon page at patreon.com/The Halloween Pod. You can help us out with a monthly donation. Anything helps, and you can also get some cool bonus content. So with a $10 monthly donation, you become a Halloween Podcast mega fan. This means that I will post a bonus episode on the feed in your honor for all of the listeners of the show. Just because I'm releasing 31 shows this month, that doesn't mean that I will stop. If I get a new Patreon supporter for the $10 mega fan status, you better believe it, I will release another show for so I guess it'd be 32 shows and then 33, 34. If you are showing me support, trust me, I will return the favor. I will do another show strictly for you. So if I end up getting a Patreon supporter in the next week, you will have 7 shows plus the bonus show, so you get 8 shows that week. And it's very time consuming on my end, but trust me, I want to do as many of these for you guys as I possibly can. So show us some support, and everyone in the Halloween podcast gets to listen to those bonus shows. It's not just for the Patreon supporters, it's for everybody. So go to patreon.com/the Halloween pod, become a mega fan. You'll get a bonus show, not just for you, but for everybody. If you have any questions, comments, or want to suggest anything for a future show, which some people have done, and I'm getting to those pretty soon. So email me at thehalloweenpodcast@gmail.com. If you want a sticker, just go ahead and leave us a review, take a screenshot, and send it to my email. I'll go ahead and get one of those out to you. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can too. We are at the Halloween Pod. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode of the 31 show. It's a 90s Halloween countdown. You guys have a good night.